before we get started, let's check out the links in my description. We all want nice things. We want the car, we want a house, we want a high limit credit card. But if you don't have at least a 680 credit score, you're not even in the game. So click this link here to know where you stand and get your free credit scores from all three bureaus. That will be Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And also get your reports. If you would like to be free and become financially independent through entrepreneurship, click this link here to be free. If you'd like to get cash back, which is a discount during shopping, please click this link here to see my favorite cashback sites. And if you enjoy the music you hear in the background, please click the link here and subscribe to It's Oasis. Hello everyone, welcome back to Community Wealth. Today we have an interesting article, and it's interesting because lately he's been talking about Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos going into space. So this article fits right in that. Yes, it's ironic, but this article fits right in that, this whole space situation. But in accordance with the article, if you want to avoid these situations that's happening in the article, go ahead and click the credit monitoring link in the description below. And that way you can get your 3 credit scores with your 3 reports, so you know where you stand, so you know where you're going. If you would like to make extra cash, or actually you want to make a full-time income, you can click the Wealth Dasher link in the description below. That way you can use your personal vehicle to make $500 to $1,000 plus per week. And if you don't want to use your vehicle, or if you don't have a vehicle, you can click the Wealth Hire Car link along with the Wealth Dasher link, where you can then make $500 to $1,000 plus per week. And while you're making that cash, you want to get cash back on your purchases, you can click the cash back link in the description below. Let's get into this interesting article. You have legal issues. This is through the Washington Post. NASA senior executive committed COVID-19 loan fraud to pay his credit card bills. Andrew Tesna says he regretted applying for the coronavirus pandemic relief loans from the Small Business Administration almost as soon as he filed the paperwork. The NASA senior executive tried unsuccessfully to cancel one of the applications. Okay, so once he submitted his applications, he felt bad about it, so he tried to cancel just one. Just one of them. Tried to cancel one. Let's continue, because that just sounds crazy to me right now. But when the $272,000 arrived, Tesna admitted he used the cash as he had planned to pay down his massive debts while incurring new costs, including $6,450 for a French bulldog and nearly $50,000 for a swimming pool. Don't sound like he felt bad to me, because he sure didn't try to give it back. Sound like he used it to buy a dog and a swimming pool. Okay. Felt real bad, didn't he? Tesna, 36, who helped oversee NASA spending, was sentenced Thursday in an Alexandria, Virginia federal court to 18 months in prison. I desire nothing more than to show my young children a father who learned from his mistakes, a person they will be proud of, Tesna, who lived in Leesburg, said in a letter to the court. I was entrusted to be a good steward of government's resources as a civil servant. Instead, I abused a program without regard for anyone but myself. Now you admit it. Now, after you got convicted in the court, now you admit that, hey, I work for the government, I know better, and here I am utilizing government funds to fund my lifestyle. Not only did you work for the government, you handle NASA finances. Wow. The Paycheck Protection Program, PPP, was launched in spring 2020 to help small businesses stay afloat during the pandemic through forgivable loans. The Trump administration prioritized speed over thorough vetting, and fraud was widespread. The Justice Department said it has prosecuted more than 100 people for submitting fraudulent PPP applications and seized over $65 million in cash. Yeah, they got a long way to go, it sounds like. Before the fraud, Tesna lived what appeared to be a quintessential American success story. His family came to the United States from Colombia when he was 13, living in an unfinished basement. As a teenager, he helped his mother build a residential cleaning business while taking English classes through Loudoun County and meeting his future wife. He earned a degree from George Mason University while working full-time to pay for his housing and car. He went on to study accounting, and in 6 years at NASA, he rose to the executive level, a dream job that paid $181,000 a year, his attorney Paige Pate said in court Thursday. Okay, so listen. They tried to make that sound real nice and sweet. He came over here, he went through the hard times, he trials and tribulations, and then he became a success and made nearly $200,000 a year. Sounds great. I appreciate that, because that's what I'm trying to get you guys watching the video to understand, that we can do this by even not utilizing the government funds, especially if you can't get it. You can't get the government funds. I mean, get your credit together. Have your profile look great by clicking the credit monitoring link in the description below. You can get your 3 scores and your 3 reports from all 3 bureaus: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And while you're at it, go ahead and click the Wealth Dasher link in the description below. That way you can make $500 to $1,000 plus per week using your vehicle. And if you don't want to use your vehicle, along with clicking the Wealth Dasher link, also click the Wealth Hire Car link so you can use their vehicle to drive around town and get $500 to $1,000 plus per week, while thus working on your credit. Then you can get cash back. That means saving money. Click the cash back link in the description below. You can see my favorite cash back sites. And also, while you're making your money, you can see how I got 5 properties for $5,500 by clicking the Be Free link. Alright? So while you're doing all of that, check this out. That's what you're going to utilize to get to the point where you won't need all these funds. The funds can just help you, but you still have to use it in accordance to how they tell you to use it. If you get your credit together, you can just use the funds that you get from your financial institution, whether it's a credit card, loan, business credit card, lines of credit, whatever. All right, you can use it how you like. Okay. But this guy, he made it with $200,000. Now, I'm not saying you can't go into debt. You can. But $200,000, that's pretty much enough money where you don't have to go into debt unless you're trying to live a lifestyle that shows that you're a millionaire. All right. But you'll be a millionaire if you get the property. Let's say your property worth, let's just say $500,000. That's not going to take up all your money and make $200,000 a year. Okay. Now you can get 2 nice cars. 2 nice cars. $1,000 each. You still won't be in debt. All right. You can have you a Jaguar. You can have you a Lincoln. Have you a Benz. Have you 2 Benzes, 2 Jaguars, whatever. You're still not going to be in a situation where you're going to be in debt like that. But it looks like this guy want to get $50,000 swimming pools. Why didn't you get the $500,000 house that got a pool in it already? You see? And you want to buy a French Bulldog. What? Almost $7,000 for a French Bulldog? You just sound like you blowing money, dude. That's what you've been doing this whole time, trying to prove that you're a rich guy. And you're pretty okay. You can be wealthy without having the cash. You can have assets. And you're buying French Bulldogs and I mean, I'm not seeing it, homie. I'm not seeing it. And you're just blowing this money. It's like you're trying to go to jail. Because you said you felt bad. And I guess you felt a little uneasy because you handle finances for NASA. But now you're up here blowing $300,000. Dude, you didn't feel bad. You're just trying to say you felt bad. But you didn't feel bad. What you should have felt bad was about you getting into debt with $200,000 a year. Yeah, that's what you should have felt bad about. All right? Let's move on. He went to church. He volunteered. When his mother-in-law was abandoned by her husband, she told the court, Tesna offered to take in both her and her own mother, who was in the advanced stages of dementia. But under the surface, Tesna was living a different kind of archetypal American tell. To keep up his family's lifestyle, he went deep into debt. You don't have to do that, dude. Trust me. I got a decent lifestyle. I'm not going into debt to do it. Alright? What I'm doing is I'm creating assets. And I'm being smart about my decisions and what I'm purchasing to have a nice lifestyle. Okay? It has taken for all of this to occur to finally admit it. I was bad at managing my finance and controlling expenses, he wrote the court. He confessed to applying for 3 loans through the PPP, one for his wife's design business, which in reality had no employees and little income, and 2 for companies he invented using his and his mother-in-law's names. Tesna also collected unemployment benefits fraudulently in his mother-in-law's name, he admitted, and applied unsuccessfully for more small business loans through his wife's company. He did not report $36,000 in rent from a friend who lived with him and his wife, according to court records. These are not one-off mistakes, Assistant U.S. Attorney Kimberly Morgan Charter said in court. This was greed. And that's true. You got $36,000 in rent. Okay? $36,000 in rent. That pushed you over that $200,000 threshold. You was at $181,000, you got another $36,000. Okay? That pushed you nicely into the $200,000 mark. Okay? On top of that, you're lying, getting unemployment, and you make $200,000 a year. Unemployment. You make $200,000 a year. And you try to get more business loans. More false business loans. What's up with your credit, dude? Where's your credit at? You extended yourself that much? You don't know about business credit? That's when you get credit education. It's not hard to do. YouTube is chock full of it. Plenty of it on YouTube. Plenty. They got books. You can get the Larry King book. You know, there's a lot of stuff out here about credit. Very simple. Is your credit good enough? You cannot even need business credit. You make it $200,000. I'm pretty sure you can get over $100,000 in credit, and you don't have to use it up. It's just amazing to me. It's just amazing. I put all of my expenses on credit cards, and I pay them down to 3 to 5% every month. Because here it is. You're gonna do it anyway. So you just put it on the credit card. So the cash should be sitting in an account somewhere because you didn't touch the cash. And you take that cash and you bounce it back on your credit cards. Bam, your credit cards are paid. You do it every month. It's not hard to do, homie. What are you doing out here? Alright? This crazy. Check this out. This is what I'm talking about. Tesla used the funds to pay off over $140,000 on credit cards and $18,000 on car loan, among other debts, while buying new cars and renewing a Disney timeshare, she said. Nah, and I'm not even knocking a timeshare thing. But the car situation, you don't have to drop the money on the car like that. Because the car is not an asset. It's a liability. Just do the car payments. It's okay. It's okay to do the car payments. That's what it's for. But you bought new cars on top of that. I'm pretty sure that you already had nice cars because you was trying to create this lifestyle image. And you don't have to create that. You already have it. You're at $200,000. You got the house. You got the 2-3 cars. You good. The Disney timeshare, I'm not even knocking that. That's a nice investment. I'm not knocking that. But you bought new cars. $140,000 on credit cards. And that's when all the expenses are supposed to go on the credit cards, and use your cash sitting in your account to drop it back down. But you just letting it sit there. You're paying minimal payments, it sounds like. That's crazy. He tends to overspend on his family, Pate wrote in a sentencing memorandum. Tesla was interviewed by federal law enforcement in December and said he would repay the loans after he sold his Leesburg home. But prosecutors said he put most of the money toward his debt and a $500,000 house in Florida. What? He bought a $500,000. Not a bad investment. Listen, I'm not knocking the real estate game. I'm not knocking that, because that can pay for itself. You do it the right way. Depending on where the house is in Florida, he can get, Airbnb income. So I'm not even knocking that part. What I'm knocking is you just overspending, which means your credit probably got shot. All right. And probably not too bad where he can't get a home because you got the income, but it's probably to the point where he can't really do a whole lot with his credit. He can't maneuver a lot. He paid the government back less than $3,000. On Thursday, he made another $10,000 payment. Okay. Page said Tesla lost his job overseeing policy for NASA's chief financial officer and has been blocked from any future government-related work. The lawyer said Tesla is now working as a loader at Lowe's, earning $14 an hour. Oh my gosh. So you went from $200,000. You went from $200,000 to about $25,000. Here's the thing. You could have changed all that around. That's not bad. It's terrible, but it's not bad. You got the wherewithal to do all of this extra stuff. You couldn't. I mean, you got the house in Florida. Now I'm not sure they're saying when he bought the house in Florida. So I'm not saying he bought the house with the PPP funds. No, I don't know. But if he bought the house before the PPP funds, that's a lot of income right there. And it depends on where it's at in Florida. We're talking about Airbnb hasn't slowed down. So even if you paid off the mortgage, depending on your interest rate, what the mortgage payments are, you should have enough money to go and invest in other Airbnbs. You can get out there and you can be a courier. You can easily make $4,000 a month doing DoorDash, Instacart, Grubhub, the gig economy type stuff. I wouldn't necessarily, well, I'm going to get into that right now. It's another video. But you can do it. You can get it popping. All right? You can invest in other properties. So you don't have to work at Lowe's for $14 an hour. You had you had the credit and you had the income. I'm not sure how bad your credit went, but if you bought a $500,000 house, I mean, your credit wasn't terrible. All right? Probably overextended, but it wasn't terrible. All right? So that's what I'm saying. It just sounds horrible what this guy did. I mean, it sounds horrible. It sounds like he just didn't know, and he should have known if he's handling finances for NASA. But anyway, that's that story. Again, so you won't have to run into this whole PPP fraud thing. Get your credit together. Click that credit monitor link in the description below. You get your scores from all 3 credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax Plus. You get the report so you will know what's going on in your credit. Then check out the do-it-yourself credit repair links. Well, the do-it-yourself credit repair playlist so you can see how to dispute the derogatories on your credit report. And as I was mentioning, talking about the story, you can go ahead and click the Wealth Dasher link in the description. That way you can make $500 to $1,000 plus per week utilizing your own vehicle. Or if you don't want to use your vehicle, or if you don't have one, you can click the Wealth Dasher link and also click the Wealth Hire Car link. And that way you can utilize their car to dash around town and make $500 to $1,000 plus per week. You want to know how I got 5 properties for $5,500? Click the Be Free link in the description below. And if while you're making your money dashing around town, you want to get cash back with your purchases, you click the cash back link in the description below so you can know my favorite cash back sites and how I make $1,000 plus in cash back all the time. I just thought this was an interesting article due to the fact that these cats was going to space and all that stuff, and now they turn around and say here's a NASA senior executive who makes over $200,000 a year with rent and his income, which was $181,000 by itself, committed PPP fraud. All right. So again, thanks for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to It's OAC. Like and share the video. And as always, until the next video, let's get this money.